I have got 10 absolutely addictive fragrances. I mean, these are ones I'm going back to over and over again. I've got 5 designers, I've got 5 clones, I've got 5 kind of warm weather focused fragrances and 5 cooler weather fragrances. So I've got a really good mix, a wide range of prices, but each one of these, I'm telling you, there's something about them that is drawing me back again and again. So we're going to dive into this list, but before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I've got videos coming out every couple days. Also, give the video a like if you get something out of it, and let me know down in the comments what fragrance are you just kind of addicted to right now that you're going back to over and over again. All right, first up, I'll mention this one. It's been getting a good bit of hype since it came out for good reason. It is the Boss Bottled Elixir flanker of the Boss Bottled line. And this one is really good. It's got a very noticeable incense, a frankincense note, which can sort of make or break a fragrance. In this one, it is done so very well. There's a spiciness in the opening, even maybe a licorice that some people compare to Dior Sauvage Elixir. But as the fragrance continues to develop, there's a lot of differences between Sauvage Elixir and this one, but it does have that spicy, woody vibe. I think there's some cardamom in here. There's some incense. There's a definite good spiciness. I think cardamom is one of the standout spices. So great pickup. You can now get it on discounters for about $80, which is an excellent price for an elixir of this quality. The atomizer on this thing is a fire hose. I don't know how well you can see this, but I mean, it literally it sprays. I'm literally getting wet. I'm getting rained on. So really awesome pickup right there. I am tasting it as well. Doesn't taste great, but it does smell great. All right, next up. This one's really cool. This seems to be a collaboration between Paris Corner and Aroma Concepts. This one is called Batique. It says Aroma Concepts on the bottle, but it is a Paris Corner fragrance. This stuff is a watermelon candy kind of fragrance with a green nuance and a little bit of woods. This is absolutely unisex. Some guys would probably say this is too feminine for them. I do not mind a unisex fragrance. I love fruity fragrances in the summer. I will wear this heavily for the next 5-6 months probably. You can get a 1.7 ounce bottle. I think I paid like $20 for this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. So the price is great. The fragrance is unique. It is it screams watermelon. And if you can picture a watermelon blow pop or something like that, but with some green facets that are noticeable and some woodiness, and the candy vibe dies down a little bit after the first 20 minutes or so. Super unique. Really looking forward to busting this one out as it heats up in the coming months. Super cool. Aroma Concepts, Paris Corner, Batique. All right, this next one. I have been loving this fragrance. I can't get enough of it. My wife even likes this one, which is super cool because she kind of hates about half of my fragrances. I didn't expect her to like this one because she doesn't like its sister fragrance. This is a clone of Parfums de Marly Pegasus Exclusive. And man, I love this stuff. This is Al Haramain's Detour Noir Intense. It's basically kind of powdery and metallic almond vanilla, that wonderful Pegasus vibe that I've loved for years. But it does have that oody, piney, animalic top. It's really all through the fragrance, but they sort of lay those dark notes on top of Pegasus, and they did such a fantastic job with this one. Surprisingly, my wife does not like Latent Exclusive. I didn't think she would like a clone of Pegasus Exclusive, but she does. So that's a big plus for me. This stuff is addictive. It smells so very good. And you don't lose the Pegasus DNA under those dark notes. And sometimes with the Latent Exclusive clones that I've tried, the darker notes are so overdone that you lose the latent goodness. Not so with this one. If you like Pegasus and you like a little bit of oody funk, you got to check this one out because it is awesome and it's really priced right as well. All right, now we're going back to a freshie. This one's super unique, so unique that it's almost confusing if you've ever had a fragrance like that. What is it that I love about this one so much? This one is a clone of Bulgari Aqua Amara, kind of a 10 years ago hype beast. This one is Pandora Artemis. I mean, you can tell by that orange glass exactly what they're going for. And it has that aquatic kind of seashore kind of vibe, you know, a little bit of that seaweed note. Aqua Amara means bitter water, and that sort of bitter, you know, almost animalic kind of seawater vibe, as well as some freshness and aquatics. Very cool fragrance, Pandora's Artemis. So got to check that one out. Also priced very well. All right, going back to one that is more cool weather focused. This is one, ever since it came out, I've had some of you telling me I should pick it up. I've been eyeballing it, waiting for the price to be, you know, acceptable to me. I don't like paying more than really $40 for a clone fragrance. And I finally got this one. I might have paid a little over that, 43 or something like that, but it was totally worth it. This is the Woods Collection Dusk, and it is a really, really interesting clone of Parfums de Marly Layton. To me, it's not quite as sweet. I'm talking like a hair less sweet than Layton and a hair more woody than Layton. So it's a little bit of a different take. I've got some other clones of Layton, and this one's got, you know, some slight differences. And I really, really like it. It's still probably in that, you know, 90% close category. And it is long lasting. It's very high quality. There's a lot of complexity, a lot of texture like there is with the real Layton. The Woods Collection Dusk. If you can find it for under 50 bucks, I would recommend it to you. All right, next up. This one, I'm telling you, I can't get enough of it. That's the way that all of these are now. This one is again, unisex fragrance, and some would say too feminine for them, but it's a clone of an Initio fragrance, and a lot of Initio fragrances have some kind of a unisex facet, and I'm talking about Initio Paragon with this one. This is Lattafa's Al Nama, and it has this wonderful, sweet, fruity plum note that's right front and center. There's also some citruses that mix with that plum that give it a good fruity burst in the opening. It reminds me of those icy pops that we ate as kids, at least that I ate, those, you know, little plastic things that you freeze and you cut the top off. It reminds me of that, this sweet kind of tart fruitiness, but then as it dries down, it gets darker and woody, and there's a noticeable oud in here. Very cool fragrance, and one that I can't get enough of. This is Lattafa's Al Nama. All right, this next one, I just gotta say, I was wrong about this fragrance. I smelled it out in the store a few years ago, more than once. And I was listening to all the chatter online. People said, oh, it's just basically, you know, an Invictus clone. That is absolutely not true. There is a significant portion of this fragrance that is in the style of Invictus, absolutely. But there is something about this one that has now made it, without question, my favorite Invictus style fragrance. I'm talking about this one right here, which you can get for really cheap now, Spice Bomb Night Vision, the EDT. Now, Spice Bomb Night Vision EDP is literally in my top 3 fragrances right now. Talk about addictive. I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not putting it in this video, but I love it. It reminds me a little bit of Azzaro Wanted by Night, more than a little bit. It's got that sour fruitiness in the opening and then a good bit of spice, you know, in the mid and the dry down. Well, this one is like you take those facets of the EDP and you smash it together with sort of an ozonic, Invictus style fragrance, and that's exactly what you get. So think if you were to take Invictus or Invictus Aqua and add to it that tart fruitiness and a good dose of spice, and that's what you get with this one. It's absolutely, I don't regret it a bit. This is one I'll come back to over and over again, especially in the heat. I don't mind sweet fragrances in the heat as long as they're the right kind of sweet fragrance, and that one for me absolutely is. All right, another one that is definitely more focused in the cool weather. This one is a clone of Tom Ford's Cherry Smoke. Maybe the only clone that I've seen of Cherry Smoke, although I know there's maybe some of the smaller, more indie clone houses have cloned it. But this one is by Fragrance World, and it's called Cherry Incense. I've got a bunch of Lost Cherry clones, or I don't know about a bunch, but I think I've got 3 or 4. And now that I have this one, I actually prefer it over all of my Lost Cherry clones because it's actually somewhere between Lost Cherry and Cherry Smoke. The smoke note, that woody and smoky nuance that causes Cherry Smoke to stand out, they really should have doubled whatever they put in here because it's too subdued to be an excellent clone of Cherry Smoke. But as a cherry fragrance with a little bit of woodiness and a touch of smokiness, they really have made a beautiful fragrance here, and one that in the last 3 days, I think I've worn it probably 3 times. I'll usually do a fragrance in the morning and a fragrance in the evening, and I've been going back to this one over and over again, and it's one I'll continue to go back to, Cherry Incense by Fragrance World. All right, now we are back to a definitely one that you could pretty much wear all year round, but it has some coconut and some pineapple that I think make it kind of perfect for warmer weather, summer evenings, that kind of thing. I'm talking about this one right here. This is, of course, Les Beaux Parfum. And this one is, the Les Beaux fragrances, they all feature pineapple, coconut, tonka bean. And this one is pineapple forward to my nose, then coconut, then tonka bean. There's also a woody, musky vibe in this one that is pretty prominent. And so this one, again, now that it's warming up, I am already starting to wear again, and I will continually wear this probably more in evenings whenever it's really hot out because it's got a good bit of sweetness. But I'm telling you, JPG is becoming one of my favorite houses, and it's the first time I've said that since Le Male came out. So really good stuff, the Parfum of Les Beaux. And then finally, this one right here is interesting. I haven't seen it in a while. There was a time you would see it at the rack stores constantly. This is an absolutely mind-blowing summer fragrance. I'm talking about English Laundry's Tahitian Waters. And this one has got this sort of salty aquatic vibe, but then it's got tropical fruits. It's a fairly musky fragrance. It's got again, something that will remind you of the beach, and then the tropical fruits. There's even maybe a tequila note. There's some booze note in here. This is like the ultimate beach scent, Tahitian Waters by English Laundry. There is also this sugar note as I'm waving it around. I haven't opened this in probably a month, but I'm just getting whiffs of it. It's not too far off from something like Creed's Millesime Imperial. There are significant differences, but if you like that one, then you'll like this one, Tahitian Waters by English Laundry. So that's been 10. I'm telling you, these are addictive. They're ones you'll go back to over and over again, whatever language you want to use. But let me know in the comments, what are the ones that have got a hold of you that you're going back to over and over again? Also, remember to give the video an addictive like. Click the like button. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. I'm Justin, and this is SCENTS.